So, hello, Batman fans. Since we're continuing on with Batman Day, I figured why not talk about the OG? And when I say OG, I am pointing to 1989, The Batman, Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, Kim Basinger. Good movie. The first and only introduction we've had to the Batman on the big screen. It was the first one ever done, directed by Tim Burton. So really, we didn't have a whole lot to compare it to at the time. Um, I have the mask off now, so more or less I'm in Bruce Wayne fashion, with the turtleneck. But anyway, um, yeah, Michael Keaton, when he was cast as Batman in 1989, it was probably 88 when he got cast, but when Tim Burton cast Michael Keaton, there was an uproar of disappointed fans that critiqued the decision of Michael Keaton. And boy, did they have to eat a lot of crow when that movie came out, because Michael Keaton, up until that point, we were used to uh, Mr. Mom, we were used to, that type of Michael Keaton movies, the comical comedian. Plus, he wasn't really built for Batman, right? He was more or less built as an average-looking dude, like the rest of us. Short, not really muscular. So yeah, when they cast him, it was a big deal. So, movie came out, smash hit for everyone involved, Warner Brothers, Tim Burton, Michael Keaton. And the movie was great. It was well received, and like I said, a lot of people had to go back and be like, "Yeah, I gave him a lot of flack when they cast old Mike, but he did a good job. He did a really good job of balancing both Bruce Wayne and Batman. Um, there was no tongue-in-cheek, cheesy, you know, Michael Keaton type situations. He sank himself into this role and became Batman. And obviously, it was good enough for them to go back, I think a couple years later, 92, if I'm not mistaken, and do Batman Returns, which he returned in. He did well in that movie as well. But Michael Keaton's performance was good as the Batman, but Jack Nicholson as the Joker was probably, this is pre Heath Ledger, Joaquin Phoenix, and all them. So he was the first version of the Joker we got to see on the big screen as well. So old Jack, he did a pretty bang up job of the Joker. It was kind of a different feel. They went the more of the gangster route for the Joker. I think even his name was Jack. So, but yeah, he did a good job. It was a little campy. I say a little. It was a lot campy, but for back then that was the norm. And Tim Burton has a style all of his own, which more or less is usually kind of goth, kind of dark and twisty, and which kind of fits for Batman. But for the time, it was really well. It holds up decent. But when you compare, you got the newer movies like Christian Bale and Ben Affleck and Robert Pattinson. Um, it doesn't really maybe hold up as good, but it's still a classic and it's still a must watch, especially on Batman Day. He had, like I said, he had two movies. Michael Keaton did this one, and then Batman Returns, which featured the Penguin, Catwoman, and yeah, I think that was the two. He didn't return for Batman Forever. That was when Val Kilmer did a one-off and did his time as Bruce Wayne / Batman. But I forget the reasons. I think it was creative differences is why Michael Keaton didn't return. But here's a bit of news. We've all kind of heard floating around that Michael Keaton would be returning in The Flash. Now, this is if The Flash ever gets to the movies and sees light of day. With Ezra Miller's shenanigans going on, it's still up in debate because they they have a new head over at Warner Brothers that's kind of making some changes, and he actually canceled the Batgirl movie, which was going to feature Michael Keaton returning as well. So Michael Keaton's return as Batman, or an older Batman, would be cool, but it's still, he's filmed scenes as Batman, so there's footage out there rolling around, and there's a whole movie if the Flash ever gets to see the light of day. But with that said, we'll have to just see. I wouldn't hold my breath or anything because, like I said, who knows what they're going to do with the Flash. Especially with them bringing Ben Affleck back to Aquaman, it's kind of seeming like they're wanting to go back that direction, which I'm cool with. Either way, you just don't want too many Batmen running around. You already got Robert Pattinson and Ben Affleck. We were about to have Michael Keaton come back, so we'll see. But 89 Batman, really good. Like I said, it's a bit on the campy side, so kids today might watch it and be like, these effects kind of stink, and this is kind of strange. But yeah, for us older, fans and that kind of grew up in that era, it's still a classic, and he's still the original, the OG, as they say. So yeah, there's actually a video floating around on YouTube. Go check it out, where he's at this. Michael Keaton is at this graduation, and he's presenting a speech, and he has, before he ends, he's like, "One more thing, I'm Batman." So yeah, pretty cool. Check it out. I think it's streaming on HBO Max. You can buy it, rent it, all the usual on Amazon, Vudu, Apple, all that good stuff. And yeah, if you hadn't checked it out, check it out. I mean, I dig it. It's Batman. How can I not dig it? But as always, this is my opinion, and opinions are like butts. Everybody's got one. Some of them stink.